For this video, let's try to prove this Pythagorean identity. The square of sine z plus square of cosine z is equal to 1. Please do not forget that if we talk about a certain theta in our real numbers, let's say the sine square of theta or the square of sine theta plus the square of cosine theta is equal to 1. We know this to be true, and again, when theta is a real number, but this time, we're talking about z, any complex number, and we need to show that this is really also true for this perspective. So before we could show the proof of that, let's not forget that we already discussed the equivalence of sine z and cosine z for the complex numbers, and at the same time, we will be using them to prove the given identity. For sine z, it's actually identified as e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz all over 2I. As for cosine z, it's e to the power of iz plus e to the power of negative iz all over 2. Okay, so we'll be using this 2 to prove this given identity here. So let me show you the process. So what we need to do is to show that this side here, the square of sine z plus the square of cosine z would be equal to 1. So from this, let's show that whatever result after applying the equivalence of sine z and cosine z will really yield to 1. That would mean, take note, it could be written in this manner: the square of sine z plus the square of cosine z. It's just the same as that. We're doing this so that we can just automatically substitute the expression for sine z, which actually e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz all over 2I. But we are going to square that as identified in our identity. Plus, for the second one, e to the power of iz plus e to the power of negative iz all over 2. Okay, so we just need to simplify these two, or take the squares and of course combine if necessary, and determine later on if it would be equal to 1. Allow me to move it here at the bottom. So what we can do here is to apply the power law, meaning to distribute that square here and here, so that we could actually apply such process later on. Allow me to do it like this. For our numerators, let's stick with the binomial first. E to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz, you're squaring that over the square of 2I. Okay? Take note, that's the power law of exponents. Plus, similar in the other side, e to the power of iz plus e to the power of negative iz, you square that over 2 squared. So let's try to get their respective results. As for the first term here, the squaring of a binomial is very important. It's actually like this: the square of the first term, okay? Then you will have here, you will be using this expression, right, or operation minus twice the sum of the terms. Take note, that's how we multiply or expand a binomial expression or square a binomial expression. Then we have here the square of the second term, so the minus here will become plus. So plus e to the power of negative iz and then squared. Sorry, not like that. Pardon. It should be like this: negative iz squared. Nevertheless, later on, we will be somehow multiplying the exponents according to the power law. All over, our denominator is just 4I squared. We'll return to that I squared later on. Let's just simply complete here. Plus, for the numerator of the second binomial expression, you have e to the power of iz, and then you square it again. Plus, now because it's plus here, you will have plus twice e to the power of iz and e to the power of negative iz, and then plus the square of your second term. All over, the square of 2 is just equal to 4. Now from this, of course, you could use the loss of exponents here for this one here and this portion, okay? Especially for this as well and here. We'll be talking them one by one. But let's focus first our attention on this one here. Take note that I is equal to the square root of negative 1. So I squared is just negative 1. That would mean this would be 4 times negative 1 or negative 4, or you can simply place the negative sign in the very first item here. Okay? So we're doing that because we have here negative 1 in this result. Okay, so that would mean our denominator now will just be equal to 4. Okay, or allow me to write it in this manner so that we could actually do this step by step later on. So let's just simply stick with negative 4 here. And let's try to simplify first the expressions on our numerator. Take note here, again, loss of exponents. You are just multiplying exponents now. So e to the power of 2iz minus 2. Take note of this. You are to use multiplication law. So you add exponents. You have e to the power of 0 because that's iz minus iz. Okay? And then for the last one, plus e to the power of negative 2iz. Then, plus, similar here, e to the power of 2iz plus 2 e to the power of 0 again because you're going to add exponents plus e to the power of negative 2iz all over 4 now. Okay, this is e. So I'm going to do the thing that I mentioned earlier. Instead of 4, I'm gonna negative 4. I'm gonna place the negative sign here and then 4 here so that I can just combine them later on, having the same denominators. So when I place the negative sign in the numerator, make sure that you're going to take use of all of this at once. Not just the first term is being negative, it's the entire expression in our numerator. Hence, it will be written like this: e to the power of 2iz minus 2 e to the power, or let me simplify this now. Allow me to simplify the e to the power of 0. We know that any expression raised to 0 is just equal to 1, similar to this as well. That's why I only have 2 for the second term. And for the third term, plus e to the power of negative 2iz still. Okay? Then, this is all over 4. So, plus the other side, you will have e to the power of 2iz plus 2 again, because again, this is equal to 1. And you will have here plus e to the power of negative 2iz all over 4. Now that I place the negative sign at the numerator, I have similar fractions, so I can combine them into one expression. So I will have here, and also allow me to distribute now this negative sign here. So what will happen here is I will have negative e to the power of 2iz. The negative 2 becomes plus 2. The plus e will become minus e power of negative 2iz. Again, they will be combined into one expression 4 with denominator. We have here similar fractions or rational expressions. You have here plus e to the power of 2iz. I'm just going to write all the terms on the second because it's preceded by a plus sign, so we don't need to change the signs here. Negative 2iz. Okay, now from this one, take note that we have here negative 2iz. The exponent is positive. I also have a positive 1 here. So if this 2 will be combined, that's actually 0. Okay, negative e to the power of 2iz, then plus e to the power of 2iz, same exponents, but negative opposite signs, so that's 0. Similar here, you have negative e to the power of negative 2iz, and the positive of that, we will have here 0 as well. What remains on the numerator is 2 plus 2, which gives us 4. Okay, so our denominator is also 4. That's why we get the result of 1. This is the proof that squaring the sign plus the square of cosine indicated by the identity here would be really equal to 1, as shown by this proof. This is the proof for this given item here, and since this is also true for complex numbers similar to the theta here we use in the context of real numbers, and if we're going to see something like this later on in some of our exercises, we're going to apply this identity. Thank you very much for watching.